true.
Now, gentlemen, let's concern ourselves with the three main questions regarding UFOs. One, who are they?
Well, the general analysis has shown that he's humanoid.
You mean like us?
More or less. He was equipped with an advanced apparatus that enabled him to breathe liquid. The skin has an artificial green coloration, probably absorbed from the liquid. The interesting thing here is that the hair hasn't picked up this tint, which suggests that the liquid contains a bioacrophilic compound. Also, the fact that the eyes were protected by plastic shells seems to support this theory.
A man. From a solar system probably 100 million miles from Earth.
He appears to be humanoid and highly intelligent. There must be some way we can communicate. Well, obviously, in science and technology, several hundred years in advance of man.
Oh, they're marvelous, Striker. They're brilliant. They can do things we can't even conceive. Have you any idea what they've done here, Striker? They've taken a millionth of a second of our time and frozen it. This whole thing is taking place in a millionth of a second, Striker. Compared to them, we're midgets, Striker. All of us.
But everything in this report seems to add up to a dying race.
Well, we can't be certain yet, but this preliminary test shows organ and gland transplants. Heart, liver, left lung, thyroid.
A dying race, keeping themselves alive by transplanting our organs into their bodies.
On a number of fully documented occasions, mutilated bodies found after UFO attacks. Organs missing.
The alien I examined this morning, I think his whole body was human.
His brain?
Even his brain.
You mean he was one of us?
Outwardly, yes. But certain sections of the brain seem to be missing. The parts that control emotion, creativity. Only the analytical, the logical remained. It's possible that these creatures are not humanoid at all. They just use our bodies. Erase from the brain all knowledge, wipe it clean and reprogram it with, or transmit to it their own thought patterns, their own intelligence.
No, Croxley. Don't you see? The aliens, Croxley. They've taken over your mind.
They may have your mind, Craig, but they can never get your soul.
The form of life they take, I can't begin to imagine. They may have no physical being at all, and therefore need a vehicle, a container. Our bodies.
Surrender. Surrender, Shadow.
You know that we can never do that.
Surrender.
They may be years ahead of the human race, but we've got one thing they haven't. Bloody-mindedness. It built this planet.
Commander, they're on their way.
Question number 2. Where do they come from? Now, the fact that the lungs were filled with an oxygenated liquid seems to indicate a subjection to phenomenal acceleration and fantastic speed over a long period. long enough for the skin to pick up the green coloration of the liquid. Now, all this would appear to add up to an extended journey through space, perhaps several months, at many times the speed of light.
We've made a computer study of UFO approaches, and the general pattern is marked.
Our planet is dying. Our national resources are exhausted. We must come to Earth.
They presumably come to Earth knowing the risk of contact with our atmosphere. Which brings us inevitably to question number 3. Why do they come? What do they want?
They didn't make a billion-mile space journey for nothing.
No, sir.
So we need answers, don't we, Colonel? Imagine a dying planet in some distant corner of the universe. Its natural resources exhausted. Its inhabitants sterile. Doomed to extinction. It would appear they are driven by circumstance across 1 billion miles of space. Driven on by the greatest force in the universe.
We must come to Earth. We must come to Earth to survive.
Survival. Is this the end or the beginning? Where does the universe end? Where does it begin?